Good morning.
He's the man who warned artificial intelligence was going to take your job.
We believe that AI is going to be a technological and societal revolution.
But in an announcement yesterday that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley, it was revealed that Sam Altman himself had lost his.
Breaking news, Sam Altman is out.
This is a stunner.
Seen here with world leaders at the UK's AI Safety Summit earlier this month, the co-founder of OpenAI that runs the chatbot ChatGPT was the most prominent executive in the fast-growing sector and the industry voice in efforts to persuade governments that AI could be safely managed.
And the jobs of today will get better.
But no more. In an ambiguous statement from OpenAI, it was revealed he was forced out following a board review which concluded that he was
not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities.
It's not clear what he's alleged to have not been honest about. He's kept tight-lipped, saying in a statement that he'd loved his time at OpenAI. So what now for the man who facilitated many people's first taste of an AI chatbot that seemed to have all the answers, and for the industry that has mysteriously lost its star man?
Well, earlier I spoke to Amber Kack, who's Executive Director of the AI Now Institute, and asked her how much of a shock Sam Altman's ousting was.
Is it a shock? I think absolutely. I think even if there were many of us that were fairly sure that the house was not in order, whether that is at OpenAI or any of these other AI companies, I think seeing this kind of an ousting of a CEO is absolutely unprecedented in many ways. And we're still waiting for the dust to settle. I think theories range from the numbers not adding up to major security or privacy lapses that may have been covered up. But I think even as we sort of wait for specifics, what's clear is I think that this moment has really brought home the dangers of really rapid commercialization of AI tech without any meaningful public oversight.
And I mean, in this world, there's a sort of pattern, isn't there, that, you know, you have a character like Altman who is regarded as a superstar, a sort of rock star of tech. Can these companies survive without these really big characters at the top?
Yeah, I think there's the enigma of these characters at the helm. There's sort of these messiahs that are talking about the future potential of these technologies, often unfounded in actual evidence. And so for the last several months, including at the recent AI summit, we've all been kind of speculating about the future potential of AGI and artificial general intelligence, which, you know, depending on who you are, is the best thing that will ever happen to us, or will kind of end the world as we know it. And meanwhile, as you know, as we know from what happened yesterday, the real conversation is much more banal.
So in really simple terms, what do you think this does mean for the wider industry? What do you think this means for AI?
I'll say what I think it should mean. I think this should be a wake-up call to political representatives all over the world. I think we should really use this moment to galvanize political momentum towards holding these companies and these individuals accountable.
You say this is a moment as much for governments around the world as it is for the companies themselves.
Absolutely, and that's because it is governments that have been giving, people like Sam Altman and other CEOs of AI companies the primary seat at the table to decide what we should do about regulating AI. And I hope that the events of yesterday and also the events leading up to yesterday are another reminder to governments that that needs to change, and this conversation needs to be driven by public and not private interest.
And for us, for members of the public, as you say, whose lives could be fundamentally changed by AI, what difference will this make in the short term, do you think?
We might see a kind of a kind of walking back of the kind of widespread use of these systems. But I would say that, you know, again, the more important point here is that the conversation on AI at this point was much more about kind of future speculative uses and the future and the kind of hype bubble. And I think that, this conversation is really a reminder to bring it back and say, are these systems even still ready for market? This conversation has happened absolutely on the terms that companies have set. That needs to change. The government needs to take the front seat in kind of driving this conversation about the technology and where it's headed.
Amber Kack, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.